Well, hello everyone. Are we live? I think we're live. Welcome to the Live Ultimate podcast. My name is Brian the Botanist. This is episode 1 of our new podcast we're launching in 2022 to share all things health, wellness, nutrition. We're going to be interviewing Live Ultimate experts. We're going to be talking about the science. We're going to be talking about the lifestyle, the community. We're going to be getting to know a lot of people who have a lot of things to share about health and nutrition in general, about any questions you have on mushrooms, detoxification, gut health, living natural, living healthy, reading your labels, all these topics and more I'll be bringing to you on a weekly basis. We'll be bringing these to you. And right now we're called the Live Ultimate Podcast, but we would love to have another name at some point. So if you have a name suggestion, please send it to us. We are on Instagram. We're also on YouTube. And please subscribe and like our videos. And we appreciate so much you being part of our community. So let me go ahead and see if I can add on, show you guys what I want to talk about today. Yep, it looks like we're live. Perfect. Okay, let's look at the screen I want to show you guys first. All right. So this is the Live Ultimate website with our 3 products. Let's see if it shows up properly. I might have to adjust something here. Let's try something here. Let's make this not viewable. All right. Now can you see my screen? So I'm sorting out some technical difficulties. If anyone knows OBS very well, let me know. I think I have to adjust something here in OBS to make it visible. This would just take a second. Display capture, and I'm cropping it to the window, so no crop. All right, now you can see my screen right here. Let's hope. Let's give it a second to refresh. I have to grab my charger. All right, guys. So now you can see my screen. Now you can see and hear me. Let's go ahead and get started. Thank you for your patience. This is episode number 1. And I'm still sorting out some of the technical aspects, but I'm confident that this will just keep improving with every single episode, and I have a lot to share with you guys. So let's get started. Your smart morning routine that helps you achieve your goals. That's Live Ultimate in a nutshell, or in a superfood shell. This is a on-the-go solution for busy people, some people that know a lot about nutrition and trust that we have the highest quality and standards in the world, and other people who don't understand nutrition but know that Live Ultimate is a quality company, one of the highest quality companies, and that they care about everything they do, from the ingredient sourcing to the packaging to our operations and practices. Everything needs to be sustainable, and we truly live that way as a company. So never miss a day is the Live Ultimate way. Engineered and sourced with the purest ingredients to help elevate your body, health, and performance. Live Ultimate products help to reduce inflammation, detoxify the body, and improve your natural energy and brain function without sugar, additives, or fillers. So our 3 products are the Ultimate Elixir, Ultimate Shrooms, and Ultimate C. Today, I really want to talk about Ultimate Shrooms. We will talk about Ultimate C and Ultimate Elixir on other days. But for today, let's look at first our uncompromising standards. We walk the talk. We're USDA organic. We're GMP certified. Our lab is in the US, and it's a good manufacturing practices certification. We do not use genetically modified ingredients. We are certified vegan. We do not do any animal testing. We are 100% raw, eco-conscious glass packaging, nothing artificial, gluten-free, made in the USA, and kosher. Here's our 3 products. We're going to click on Ultimate Shrooms, which starts at $1.84 per serving, which is a great price for 3,000 milligrams of mushrooms. Extracts, which we're going to talk about what a mushroom extract is versus a raw mushroom. So Ultimate Shrooms are nature's most powerful immune support, and this is right off our website. You can check the label. We have up to 450 milligrams of 8 species of mushrooms. We use 100% mushroom fruiting bodies only. We guarantee no mycelium, no starches, no fillers, no flavors, sugars, coffee, none of that. You can add all that in. I'm drinking my cup of Ultimate Shrooms tea right now. And basically, we give you a pure superfood powder, mushroom extract powder that's beta-glucan rich. And that is a very high-quality product in the marketplace. Most companies will have mycelium in their products, and I'm going to show you a chart in a little bit, a graph that's going to show you the difference in beta-glucan levels is 50 to 60 times more in a nutshell in fruiting bodies than in mycelium. So the mycelium is a cheaper, less potent form of the mushroom organism. It's the underground root structure, and the fruiting body is the above ground, which you would think a company would use, but is not what most mushroom companies use in their products. And we are doing third-party testing of other products to show you, and you can even look at the labels and know. And third-party testing will also show you through beta-glucan levels and alpha-glucan levels and other compounds and nutrients that are in the mushroom. So let's talk about Ultimate Shrooms. It boosts your body's defenses, brain function, and natural energy levels without caffeine. Ultimate Shrooms is an extraordinary blend of the 8 highest quality immune-strengthening organic functional mushrooms. These mushrooms have been used to support health and longevity for thousands of years, and research continues to find new evidence to support their health-enhancing properties. Our daily 3-gram serving of whole mushroom powder contains only 100% fruiting body extracts of organic cordyceps, reishi, chaga, lion's mane, turkey tail, maitake, shitake, and oyster mushrooms. These 8 mushrooms are carefully sourced from around the world for their quality and potency. So we have pouches, and we have on-the-go packets, and we also have bottles in the past. And I still have a bottle here. So this is what I use. I take a scoop out of it. I'll show you guys. This is what a scoop looks like. It's really, really fine, lightweight, fluffy powder that's an extract. And a lot of people have been asking, what is an extract versus a raw mushroom? What's the difference? Why do I want an extract? Doesn't that hot water extraction or alcoholic extraction, doesn't that destroy compounds? No, it doesn't. We get that question once in a while from people who are new to the supplements world. So superfoods and herbs are generally raw, except in the case of mushrooms, which are not in the animal or plant kingdom. Mushrooms are in their own kingdom, the fungi kingdom, and they have a cell wall made of something called chitin, and chitin is analogous to cellulose, which is in the cell wall of plants like celery, broccoli, and all types of plants. Wood, paper is all made from cellulose. Mushrooms do not have cellulose in their cell wall. They have chitin. Chitin is like a brick wall, and when you chew it or digest it, it does not break down and allow the beta-glucans inside the mushroom fruiting body to be absorbed. So with medicinal and functional mushrooms, the way to get the highest levels of beta-glucans is to go through a hot water extraction process that takes up to 3 hours at 365 degrees Fahrenheit. That is a hot water extraction for 3 hours. The soft mushrooms like cordyceps and maitake and shitake and oyster and cordyceps, those only need hot water extraction. The hard mushrooms like reishi and chaga need dual extraction. They're following up the hot water extraction with an ethanol or alcohol extraction that helps to get out some of the compounds that hot water will not extract, including triterpenes and other bitter compounds. And chaga has betulinic acid and melanin. These compounds need alcohol for their hard, woody substances. They're not actually woody. They're woody-like. And this is my cat, Celeste. She's going to be appearing on the podcast from time to time. She likes to come and explore, and she's a mushroom lover too. My cats actually do take the mushroom products. It helps their immune systems, and dogs and cats will benefit from Ultimate Shrooms as well. You just need to adjust the serving size for their size of body weight and start with a very small amount and see how they react. But anyways, when you have a pure product, that's the beauty of it. You can actually give it to your pets too. But back to the Ultimate Shrooms. We have 8 species, and they're extracts. They go through a hot water and in some cases a dual ethanol extraction to extract and preserve in this powder all the beneficial compounds, including beta glucans, the acids that each mushroom produces. They're called like cordyceps acid is the cordyceps version of the compound. It's like a nutrient. Cordyceps acid along with also ergothionine and ergosterols that the mushrooms produce. The beta glucans, they're all polysaccharides, which are part of the mushroom sugar basically chain structure, but it's not the same as anything else that you have heard of with plants. Mushrooms have a whole different set of nutrients and compounds. So Ultimate Shrooms is an extract beta-glucan rich powder, and we're going to go through some of the documents now that show you how much beta-glucans are in each serving of Ultimate Shrooms, and we're also going to show you the difference between fruiting bodies and mycelium for their beta-glucan levels. Okay, so it's $65 for a one-time purchase, and if you subscribe and save, it's $55 per bottle. Here's the label. We have 8 mushrooms ranging in 150 to 450 millibytes. Sorry, I want to say millibytes. Milligrams. There's 5 of the mushrooms at 450 milligrams. 2 of them are at 300 and one of them is at 150. Overall, it's 3,000 milligrams, which is 3 grams per serving. That is a very large serving size. When we helped create this product together as a team, I definitely said 3 grams is what I think is the perfect serving size, because most mushroom products are 1,000 milligrams, or the most we ever found was 1,600 milligrams, and ours is double that, basically, 3,000 milligrams. So 3 grams is just a really nice number. You know, we took 8 species, we broke it up into 3,000 milligrams. That gives you our formula. It has a lot of great benefits for your athletic performance, immunity, brain function, energy, helps lower blood sugar, cholesterol, helps your organ health, helps with detoxification, helps with stamina, fertility, libido, so many great things the mushrooms help with, even skin health, even wound healing, everything your body does, mushrooms help support and add strength to your body. So let's go ahead and look at some of the, and then we talk a little bit about how vast majority of the mushroom products in the market use mycelium, a cheaper and less potent underground form of the mushroom, grown on layers of grains such as rice and oats. And what ends up happening is that your mushroom product ends up having starches in them from oats and rice, because that's what they're grown on. Our mushrooms are grown on wood logs the way nature intended. We're going to go through some photos today too of the mushroom farms and what they look like. This is your new daily ritual. Instead of drinking coffee all day, you can drink a mushroom tea or a mushroom coffee. It could be with or without caffeine. You don't need to have caffeine to have energy. There is a synergy between coffee and mushrooms, but you don't have to have caffeine if you don't want caffeine. But it is a nice synergy. If you do like caffeine, you will notice that the mushrooms add on another dimension or another level of energy for longer sustained brain function. They can help with fasting. It's a really good coffee or tea substitute, and it's healthy. You can drink multiple cups of mushroom tea or coffee a day, and it's a great ritual for your health. Let's see, we've got some great recipes. We're not going to have the time to go through those now, but you can make a hot chocolate, you can make a latte, you can make golden shrooms, which is basically like a turmeric ginger. We have heavy metal reports on our website. We have frequently asked questions. Okay, all right, so that's our Ultimate Shrooms page. Let's go ahead now and look at some of the reports. Let's see here. Actually, I was in the right page. All right, so this is, I'll show you a second. This is the first one. This is our beta-glucan report, and it shows that, let's see if I can make this look right here. Yep, looks like it's loading here. All right, so this should be zoomed in perfectly for you to see. This was completed in July of 2020, so it's a little over a year and a half old, but it's on the same product. We will be getting a new a test done as soon as possible. We do have late 2021 heavy metal reports, which I'll be interviewing Dr. Christian Gonzalez about in the next week or two. So I'm really excited. Stay tuned for that interview with Dr. Christian G. He goes by Dr. G. Heal Thyself podcast. Dr. Christian Gonzalez is an amazing expert who put on his Instagram in the last year. He's a cancer researcher for naturopathic cancer research. He put that Live Ultimate's one of the top wellness brands, one of the top nutrition brands for greens products and mushroom products because of our transparency and because of our commitment to educating consumers and everyone about how to read your labels and how to get your true value from your nutrition and not buy fake mushrooms, but to really get the advantage and the benefits of real mushrooms, of Live Ultimate shrooms. So this report was done, as I said, a little over a year and a half ago, but it's still contemporary, it's still current. It was sampling it says Live Ultimate blend, but it was Ultimate Shrooms. And here's our beta glucan report. They did a megazyme enzymatic yeast beta glucan kit assay kit, and they found 34.7% beta glucans per serving. So beta glucans were nearly 35%. That's a very high amount. We say on our bottle that we guarantee our uncompromising standards are that our mushroom blend consists of 100% mushroom fruiting bodies containing beta-glucan levels not less than 30%. So we guarantee 30% or higher beta-glucan levels per serving in a bottle of Ultimate Shrooms. So every time you take a scoop, you're guaranteed over 30% beta-glucan levels by volume. And our lab report shows 35%. So that's an incredible finding. And we were very happy to see 35%. And I think that when we measure it again, it's going to be right around 35% again, because we guarantee 30, but we need to have more than 30 in there. So it's going to be anywhere from 32 to 38 or 40%. Alpha glucans are shown next. Alpha glucans determine the presence of starches that would be found in rice or oats or any type of carbohydrate. You do not want a high amount of alpha glucans. You want a very low, as close to zero as possible. 2 to 3% is the natural amount found in wood, which is what our mushrooms are grown on, our wood logs, and the natural substrate that the species is grows on in nature in the woods. So we have 2.3% alpha glucans, which is great. Now this shows what an incredible product this is, because 34.7 and 2.3 are exactly what we want to see for beta glucan and alpha glucan values. If it was a cheap mushroom product that was grown, mycelium grown on oats or brown rice, you would see the alpha glucans up to 50 to 80%, 50 to 60% for sure alpha glucans. So it would be a huge difference there. And it would show the beta glucans sometimes below 5 or 1%. So it's a total swing of the numbers in the opposite direction from what you see on this certificate of analysis right here, which is a beta glucan and alpha glucan test. So that's the first test I wanted to show you guys, was this 2020 test on the beta glucan levels in Ultimate Shrooms. Now 34.7%, if you take a calculator and you times 3,000, let's do it together, 3,000 times 0.3475, 34.75%, you get 1,042 milligrams of beta glucans per serving. You get over 1 gram of beta glucans every time you use a scoop of Ultimate Shrooms. That's a therapeutic amount. If you look at most mushroom products on the market, they have way less than 1,000 milligrams of beta glucans per serving. If they measure or standardize them at all, you may get 100 milligrams, you may get 200 milligrams, maybe you'll get 500 milligrams, right, Celeste? You might get 500 milligrams if you're lucky. We guarantee 1,042 milligrams, over 1 gram of beta glucans per serving of Ultimate Shrooms. That means there's over 30 grams of pure beta glucans in this bottle, in this monthly supply, because each day you're getting over a gram every time you use it. And you can take Ultimate Shrooms, by the way, 2 to 3 times a day. I recently had COVID. I had the Omicron most likely, and I was able to pass it within 4 days. And overall, the mushrooms helped. I took them 3 to 4 times a day. I took vitamin C and Ultimate Elixir 3 to 5 times a day. I was taking the mushrooms like right before I go to bed. I was taking them all day long because they were strengthening my immune system. And I took every mushroom supplement I had in my house, starting with Live Ultimate Shrooms, but also some tinctures I have, also some zinc, also some vitamin C and elixir. So I was back to normal, 100% strength within 4 to 5 days. And I rested, and that's it. Let my immune system do the work for me. And I'm getting ready to compete this weekend in a major half marathon in Naples. I'll be going for a sub 113, a 112, which is a very fast half marathon time. And I compete year round as a professional marathoner. So the mushrooms are my fuel. I was just ranked in the last month 19th in the world for men's masters marathon for 40 to 44 year olds, and 40 and over in the entire world. I'm ranked 19th in the world for 40 and over male marathoners. That's based on 2 results I had in 2021 at Boston Marathon and California International Marathon. I ran a 2:34 and a 2:31 at the age of 43, and that got me a global ranking. And in the U.S., I'm ranked 5th amongst men 40 to 44. I am ranked 5th in the U.S. And 19th in the world. So that's a great benchmark for me, and I put a lot of time into my running, and my nutrition is one of the most important things. Is my nutrition and my lifestyle, sleep, superfoods, anything that's going to help my performance, my longevity, my stamina, my brain function, all my organ health, everything all works together. Mushrooms are known to help support everything in your body. So let's go now and look at, we have ergothionine levels right here that were done on Ultimate Shrooms, 0.12 milligrams per gram. So that means you're getting about a third of a milligram every time you get a serving. Now, ergothionine you will get also a lot of in raw mushrooms. So when you have a raw mushroom, you do absorb ergothionine, but not beta-glucans. So let's see what else we have here. One other, we had the Ergosterol levels. And beyond that, there are other nutrients. As I told you, each mushroom produces an acid profile. This right here shows ergosterol at 263 milligrams per 100 grams. So there is 3 grams in a serving. So this has to get divided by, believe you have to divide this number here by 33. So this one's going to be, now I'll get back to you. We'll have to have an expert on who talks with us about ergosterol and ergothionine, because those are compounds that I am not that familiar with the amount in these medicinal mushrooms, but I know that ergothionine and ergosterols are known to be powerful antioxidants, and they help along with beta-glucans. And there's a whole profile and spectrum of nutrients and compounds in mushroom fruiting bodies, not just beta-glucans, but beta-glucans are the most important. They are the most well-studied and well-known to boost immune function and to also help with brain function, energy, and all the other benefits are traced to beta-glucans. And there's a wide spectrum of beta-glucans. There's not just one. There's different types of them basically that influence in your body with the other compounds from the mushrooms. Like in the case of cordyceps, you get tremendous athletic performance, you get energy, you get oxygenation of your blood, you also get improved lung health. You get many benefits in each mushroom that'll be different than other mushrooms. So with chaga, you might get more antioxidant support. And then with lion's mane, you might get more neurite outgrowth in your brain, which is great. So each mushroom has its own set of compounds and its own benefits, and it's all synergistic and works together. All right, guys, let's go look at this chart right here. This shows the difference in beta-glucans and alpha-glucans in fruiting bodies versus mycelium. It says mushroom fruiting body versus mycelium on grain. So the bolded, when it's bolded, that means that that's the fruiting body. So we have Cordyceps militaris fruiting body, we have turkey tail fruiting body, and we have reishi fruiting body. And then we have each one on grains. We have cordyceps. Now when cordyceps is on a fruiting body, it's 34.4% on average beta-glucans. The alpha glucan level is 1.7%. So remember when you saw in that document I just showed you 2.3% for Ultimate Shrooms? That's very close to these levels you're seeing here, 0.6, 0.1, and 1.7. When you have eight species of mushrooms, like the chaga and other mushrooms, maybe have a slightly higher alpha glucan amount. But overall, our alpha glucan amount in our Ultimate Shrooms was third-party tested at 2.3%. And here you see in bold that the 3 fruiting body species had a very low alpha glucan count, which is good because remember, you don't want much alpha glucans. They are measuring the presence of sugars, of glucose, and you don't want any sugars in your product, because when mushrooms are grown on wood logs, they don't produce alpha glucans, they produce beta glucans. When they're grown on brown rice, they don't produce much beta glucans at all, and they produce a lot of alpha glucans. So check it out. Cordyceps mycelium on grain has less than 0.1% beta glucans, and it has 55 to 68% alpha glucans. So it's a complete reversal. Remember what I told you? Ours has 34.7%. This one right here is 34.4%. But when you grow it on oats and you're only growing the mycelium, it's a total opposite result. And turkey tail, same thing, 57% when it's grown on a wood log and it's the fruiting body. 6.7% beta glucans when it's the mycelium of turkey tail grown on grain. So that's like when you're not growing the fruiting bodies. When you're just growing the mycelium for turkey tail, you're only going to get 6 to 9% beta glucans versus 57%. And with reishi, the mushroom of immortality, the mycelium is only gathering or resulting, the mycelium only produces, that's the way to say it, the mycelium only produces 1% beta glucan levels versus a fruiting body 56.2%. And look, alpha glucans, the fruiting body, 0.6. Alpha glucans of the mycelium on grain, 39 to 52%. That's a huge amount. And here you see 68% for cordyceps. So remember when I told you 50 to 60% alpha glucans are something that can happen in a lot of typical mushroom products that we would consider not to be real mushrooms at Live Ultimate. That would be, we would call them fake mushrooms, is mycelium grown on brown rice or oats. And oftentimes their marketing looks great because they want to tell a story and they have this mushroom in their product, but they're not using the real mushroom that Live Ultimate uses, a fruiting body. They're not using the nature's true, source of beta glucans. The highest source of beta glucans in all of nature is in mushroom fruiting bodies, more than any other compound. If you look on Wikipedia, if you look on Google, mushroom fruiting bodies have exponentially more beta glucans than the other sources of, which include things like oats and yeast have small amounts of beta glucans, oats and yeast. But mycelium, when they grow them on oats and rice, again, the mycelium only produces a tiny amount, 2% or less beta glucans compared to the fruiting body, which is exponentially higher. So this is an important chart that's from a book on mushroom fruiting body versus mycelium, beta glucan and alpha glucan levels on grain versus wood. Okay, I wanted to share that with you guys. Final thing I want to share with you guys today, and then we're going to call it a day, is I want to show you guys where our mushrooms are grown, some of the pictures of the farmers. This is chaga. Chaga is harvested from birch trees, and it's wild crafted. I want to show you guys. They use a knife, they take off, or an axe. They only take off about 1/3 of the mushroom. It's actually not a mushroom. So chaga is a sclerotium that grows on birch trees, and it is rich in melanin, which is the black substance. Whoops. See the black in the chaga? That's called melanin. It's also got betulinic acid. It's got beta glucans. Chaga is a very rich source of antioxidants. So this is one of our chaga collectors, and you can see this is a pristine piece of chaga that is collected from Kamchatka Peninsula in Russia, which is where our organic certified chaga is collected. And chaga cannot be grown on a farm. It can only be harvested from the woods. This is what chaga looks like in the woods. Isn't that a beautiful photo? This is a white or paper birch. And chaga is a growth, like a cancer. The interesting thing is it occurs on about 1 out of every 300 birch trees naturally. It's part of the ecosystem. There's no way to over harvest chaga mushroom. It is a mushroom that grows in abundance in northern latitudes. So in Canada, Europe, in the northern parts of Europe, in northern Russia, up by the Arctic Circle, just anywhere north of, I'm from Wisconsin, and we get very little chaga because it doesn't really occur much there, but it's very rare. But you can find chaga in Wisconsin rare. But it grows more in Canada and in Russia. And so we get ours from Russia, and it is wildcrafted and certified organic. It comes from an abundant area of birch trees, and it is not endangered or threatened. Chaga is a huge part of the northern boreal forest. It's not going anywhere. We are not over harvesting. It is something that is sustainably harvested, which is called wildcrafted by certified collectors. Okay, let's keep going. So that's another photo of chaga. It looks like a piece of charcoal. It's not a fruiting body like cordyceps or like reishi or like Maitake or lion's mane. It's more of a sclerotium, which means it's a growth. It's woody. It's like charcoal. It looks like wood. It actually is like a wood. You have to grind it down into a powder and then hot water extract it, and then use alcohol as a secondary extraction to get more of the metabolites out. So this is chaga. It's an incredible Russian mushroom that's been used for thousands of years. Instead of coffee by the Russians, they drink a lot of chaga tea, and it is a super antioxidant. It's got a powerful super antioxidant in it called super oxidase, and it is got beta-lunic acid and melanin. It's good for protecting from sun exposure and from sun damage. It's good for I know it's good for skin health, but it's also good for like organ health and for immune health and for even brain function. Chaga is known to really help with everything. So let's go on to the next mushroom. Oh, another piece of chaga. Okay, chaga's got like a chocolate looking inside. Oyster. Okay, this is our oyster mushroom. It grows on wood logs the way nature intended. Oyster is a soft mushroom. It's also culinary. Our oyster is Ostriatus Pleurotus ostriatus. Pleurotus is a genus, and it grows on wood logs. And here you can see some growing on, and this is actually going to be like a mulch where they take shredded pieces of wood and they shred it, and then it populates, the mycelium populates the shredded wood. And sometimes they use sawdust, and sometimes they use wooden pegs. In all cases, they're using wood as a substrate, and it's usually wood oftentimes that is ground down into like a type of, it's a matrix basically that the mycelium can grow in. And it speeds things up sometimes instead of just using a pure wood log, which you can use as well, pure wood logs, and drill holes and put spores and inoculate. I've done that before. It takes a lot more time, but it's a great practice. It happens naturally in the forest. So let's see, Shitake, all right, that's a common edible one as well. Turkey tail, we talked a lot about turkey tail. Here's the picture of what it looks like. It's got like a brown and orange, tan, white, cream variations. It's a polypore. Turkey tail with a fern. Bigger version of a turkey tail. All right, good. More turkey tail. The mountains near one of our mushroom farms. So when people ask where our mushroom farms are, I oftentimes say they're in a forest preserve, which means it's basically a biosphere reserve, an area that you can have some farms in, but they have to be environmentally sustainable because it's like basically a wild area, like a natural area of China. And 85 to 90% of the world's mushrooms are grown in China. And we've been proud to work with the Chinese organic farmers since 2000. And they became certified organic in 2002. And basically, these farmers have been growing mushrooms for thousands of years. They have the most knowledge of anyone on the earth. Way more knowledge than Western culture has and Western farmers. We just don't have the knowledge they have. They have the traditional, cultural, historical, familial, scientific background for thousands of years, and they have the best. They have thousands of farms, tens of thousands of mushroom farms, and they grow the mushrooms the way nature intended on wood logs because they grow them according to their traditional use. And the way they grow in the forest, actually, and cordyceps is collected from Tibet, and from places like that in the mountains, in the Himalayas, from the ground, So this is where the homeland of mushroom is. You can see here, this is a forest preserve. It's mountainous. This is where they are grown. This is like within a mile of our mushroom farm in the Zhejiang province of China on the eastern seaboard. It's very far away from Shanghai. They do not have any problems with the air or water quality here. As you can see, it's really beautiful. This is a stream. It's got, older structures. The bridges are, look at this, is like a traditional bridge. This is not, Interstate 95 going through, Florida or any part of the U.S. This is Zhejiang province, which is like a farm and forest preserve in the eastern mountains of China. So when people hear China, they oftentimes think that China is a terrible place because of other problems with their products. But it's not. It's a beautiful place. And China has 5,000 years plus of traditional Chinese medicine and mushroom knowledge to share with the world. And their farms and organic methods are great. So here's a spray dry extraction room where after the extraction, hot water extraction and ethanol extraction, this is like the vacuum pressurization tubes. Before the powder is made, it needs to be spray dried onto and then evaporated into a nice powder. So that happens in these tubes right here. So this is one of our facilities that our partner has. This is a Shitake mushroom hoop house before inoculation. So these are going to be like sawdust logs for Shitake, and this is a hoop house. Remember, mushrooms need shade, so this is a shade house. If you look up here in the upper right part of the screen, you'll see that it's a darker material, like a black. Mushrooms grow in shade, partial shade, so this will block out about 80 to 70% of the sunlight, maybe even 90%. Here are hand-cut Shitake mushrooms before they get milled and extracted. So basically, they're cut by hand. Every single mushroom is cut by hand on our farms, and we were guaranteed that we will always have all of our mushrooms cut by hand. That's a big standard. Is every single mushroom will have a human hand touch and cut it, and then put it onto a screen where it dries in the sun. And then once it's fully dried, because you don't need the water weight, it gets ground into a powder, and then that powder goes through hot water extraction. And then that's where you separate all the solids afterwards away from the liquid, keep the liquid, make the spray dry evaporated powder. That's where you get ultimate shrooms from. Let's see what other, okay, here we have more photos of Shitake growing in the hoop houses of these organic farms. These are the actual photos of our farms. This is a sawdust bag. These bags are basically like, they're like a food grade bag, and then they fill them with sawdust, and then the sawdust bag is populated by the mycelium, and the mycelium is what you want to grow on wood, and then it turns into a fruiting body, and that's what you see here is the fruiting bodies. More Shitake fruiting bodies in the hoop house. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, here's Jeff, our Shitake farmer, with the finished product. Well, not the finished as far as the fruiting body, but not the powder. All right, Reishi Organic Farm Hoop House. I love these Reishi photos because they show that, the Reishi is such a big mushroom in China, and it takes 2 years to grow about. And it's not a fast-produced crop. It is a 2-year process of burying a wood log. You're going to see buried wood logs. You're going to see mycelium and fruiting bodies, underground, coming through the ground. And these mushrooms, like I said, they take like a year just for the fruiting body to grow, and they take a year for the mycelium to grow. Here's another angle, shows you like these are hoop houses that are again under shade cloth, and they have other plants growing amongst them, which is a very good sign. They're organic. There's no chemicals used. These are like wooden support poles. This is not like an Amazon warehouse. This is a beautiful photo of some sunlight coming into a reishi. Look at how big those red reishi are. Look at how beautiful that mushroom is. Here's another way of seeing the farms. And there's many farms. It's not just one farm that Live Ultimate partners with. We probably partner with dozens, if not hundreds, of Chinese mushroom farms. And they all have great standards and are organic. And we test for all the heavy metals. And we test for purity. And we test for beta glucans. And you can see here, these are shade cloth. This is the black shade cloth. Okay? These are the mountains in the background. the Zhejiang province. This is not a city or a heavily populated area. In fact, it's a very sparsely populated. It's more of the country. So here are two mushroom growers, and one is American and one is Chinese, and they have grown cordyceps mushroom fruiting bodies. So that's cordyceps. Here is mushroom extracts, temperature controlled. So this must be when they're getting ready for, when they're going through the mycelium process. The mycelium is growing, they need to be temperature controlled. And they do it in the fruiting body too, but this is before they go out into the hoop house. This is when they're basically growing out the mycelium from spores. Here's a picture of one of the mushroom farmers in China, organic farmers. Here's another photo. These are just really great people, and we're really proud to work with them. And anyone who says that you shouldn't buy a mushroom from China is xenophobic and spreading rumors and false information. And it's usually they have their own mushroom that they're trying to sell that is mycelium, most likely. So never trust anyone who says you shouldn't buy a Chinese mushroom, because China is the homeland of mushrooms for over 5,000 years and has incredible standards of excellence. And when they hear these things that America has to say about them, they're upset because they have a legacy and they have a reputation as the best of the best in the world. The best mushrooms come from China. China knows mushrooms better than anyone else, and we are proud to partner with them because they provide mushrooms the way nature intended, grown on wood logs for their beta glucans with super low alpha glucan levels, all the compounds that you want there, none of the fillers and the fake stuff. These are our partners. These are an actual photo. This is actual photos of Live Ultimate's farmer and partners. And this is a reishi hoop house here. And just look at the health that you can see coming from people that are associated with Live Ultimate. This is a picture of one of our mushroom farmers with a buried wood log that he pulled out of the ground. And this is reishi growing out of a wood log. So that shows you exactly how mushrooms grow in nature. And then this is plastic that they put over hoops underneath shade cloth. The plastic traps humidity and helps raise humidity levels, which mushrooms grow in a humid, higher moisture level in the air in the woods, in humid air. So they don't grow out in the sun. They grow underneath shade in the forests with higher humidity levels. So you need to mimic that in cultivation for a farm setting. So that's how they did that. They used shade cloth here to mimic the forest, and then they used the plastic to raise humidity levels and help the mushroom to grow in the conditions it needs, humid conditions. It can't grow in dry conditions. That's why mushrooms come up after rainstorms too. Here is a mushroom farmer with reishi. This is another type of reishi, a red reishi. We just saw brown reishi. This is red reishi. And again, look, they're uncovering it because it is covered to increase the humidity levels. And it is also grown on wood. Here's an extraction room. This is where they mill the mushrooms before they get extracted. So this is basically like, grinding it up, and it creates a powder that you can kind of see over here, and that powder goes through hot water extraction. It's all part of quality control and how extraction facilities make mushroom powders. This is Maitake dancing mushroom. It's a beautiful mushroom. It's got a lot of properties to it that foresters and monks used to write a lot about back in the 1700s and 1800s in Japan, Russia, and China. Maitake mushroom is called the dancing mushrooms because when foresters and monks found it in the woods, they would start dancing because of its health providing benefits. Foresters were using it for strength. Monks were using it for enlightenment and longevity and brain support and mood support. Look at this, is it growing on wood again, sawdust rolls, sawdust bags. This is a bigger production facility here of Maitake. It's one of the bigger ones you'll see. Maitake up close. Again, why would you use the mycelium when you can use the fruiting body? Look how beautiful the fruiting body is. The mycelium looks like white fuzz. It's not the true mushroom. It's the underground root. Here's a picture that I want everyone to see. This is an actual photo of our partner who's over here in this white shirt, our mushroom partner, and Chinese farmers overlooking one of the Chinese mushroom farms, and it's right here. It's a hoop house right here on the side of this mountain. And look at the mountains in the background. I mean, this couldn't come out of magazine and be this beautiful. This is actual reality of Live Ultimate's mushroom farms. This is Live Ultimate's mushroom farm that they are looking at through binoculars in the distance, and they're walking to. And it's just incredible how high these are in altitude, and also how amazing the land is where they're grown. Here's lion's mane. All right, so now we're moving on to more species of mushrooms. This is the one that helps support brain function and neurological function with new nerve outgrowth. Here they are in a basket. These are the fruiting bodies of lion's mane. It looks very similar to brain, and it has so many brain benefits: concentration, memory, focus. It grows on sawdust, wood bags again. These are bags that are full of sawdust that mycelium populates, and then the fruiting body will come out of a hole, and it looks like it's really like, it looks like a little fuzzy little mushroom. So lion's mane can be eaten culinary, but it's mainly known as a medicinal mushroom for brain function. It's very pure white. The genus is Hieracium. The species is Erinaceus. So Hieracium erinaceus is the species name. Here's a picture of our hot water extraction in the lab. This is what the milled mushroom goes through: a boiling process for 3 hours in these, and then vacuum pressurization to remove the solids from the liquids. Here's another picture, or another view angle of the extraction facility of the hot water tanks. Here is cordyceps when it is getting processed. Cordyceps when it is getting ready for its extraction, and its quality control in a lab. It's very high quality. Here is, looks like oyster. All right, guys, Reishi Farm. Wow, look at that photo. This is our partner over here. I recognize him with the white hair and the black t-shirt. And this is the mushroom farmers. And look at the setting they are in. Look at this backdrop. It is a valley surrounded by mountains of forests. And then in the valley is this giant shade cloth mushroom organic farm of reishi, and this is just incredible. I would love to work on this farm. I mean, look at this area. You go running, biking through these roads. The water looks pure. Look at this way that they built the retaining wall here. This is a retaining wall. It looks like along a river, and it's made out of like river stone. And the shade cloth farm, this looks so ancient methods married with modern science. This is more of a warehouse with fruiting bodies that are growing on that are going to be coming out of these sawdust bags. So this is like not as natural as the other photo. So you have a wide spectrum of farms. You have these type that are warehouse style, and then you have the ones that I think everyone appreciates the most, this outdoor setting, which is where they get fresh air, fresh light, fresh water, fresh human hands on them, natural ambient environmental settings. So guys, those are the mushroom photos. I'm going to wrap it up now, but today was the first day of our new Live Ultimate podcast. I will be bringing experts on the next couple of days and weeks. You'll meet a lot of Live Ultimate experts. We're uploading more and more content onto YouTube, so please follow and subscribe and like and comment and share with us what you would like to learn about. If you have any questions about mushrooms, please ask. I have a video on YouTube called Why Ultimate Shrooms is the best mushroom product in the world. So you'll have to go back and watch that video. I think it's a 3 or 4 minute video, and I say every single word possible to describe Ultimate Shrooms from a scientific background. It is the most high quality mushroom extract formula in the world. It's got super high potency, 35% beta glucans, lab tested, grown in the mountains, third party guarantees. We use environmentally friendly practices to get the mushrooms from China to the US. These are mushrooms that have so much benefits for your body and your brain. As a 43-year-old professional marathon runner, it's been my number one go-to superfood for the last 20 years has been cordyceps, and then all the other mushrooms. Reishi for longevity and stamina. Lion's mane helps me visualize and get my mindset right for the marathon. All the mushrooms help boost stamina and immune function and overall support your organs, and that's what we all need in this day and age, is adaptogenic support, immune support, brain support. These are nootropics, which are a big thing nowadays. So we'll have more and more mushroom knowledge coming to you. And if you have any questions, please send the questions my way. Thank you guys for joining us today. I'm going to wrap it up. Everyone have a great Tuesday. Tomorrow's Wellness Wednesday. I'll be back with more tomorrow. Okay, guys? Talk soon. Be well.